Jai Hind everyone. So today we will practice some numerical problem on transformation. So let's start. I hope you remember our last lecture, how we can find out the transformation matrix by using concatenation rule stepwise, and how we can do reflection or rotation or shearing or scaling or translation. Okay. So we will practice some numericals. So like the question is, question number 1, we have to transform a square. So question is a square PQRS, whose coordinates are given, that is the coordinates of a square is 0, 0 and it's 2, 0, it is P, Q is 2, 0, R is 2, 2 and S is 0, 2. So these are the coordinates of the square, and we have to do shearing, which is it is subject to shearing. So we can say the shearing is done in x direction is by 2 units and in y direction by 4 units. So we have to find out after shearing the final coordinates of the matrix. So how we will find out the final coordinates after transformation? So we know the transformation matrix for shearing is that is 1 SHY 0, SHX 1 0 0 0 1. So this will be the transformation matrix for shearing, and we know the shearing unit in x direction is 2, which is this, and in shearing unit in y direction is, sorry, x direction, I have written wrong. So shearing unit in x direction is this and shearing unit in y direction is this. So we can put and find out the matrix, which will result in 1 4 0 2 1 0 0 0 1. So this will be the shearing matrix. This will be the shearing matrix, and we know the matrix, we know all the coordinates of the square. So if we know all the coordinates of the square, then we can multiply those coordinates of the square with this shearing matrix to find out the new coordinates of this square. So we can write it in the coordinate system in matrix form, that is 0 0 1, these are the coordinates of a square in matrix form, 2 0 1, then 2 2 1 and 0 2 1. So multiplying it this with this shearing matrix, we can find out the new coordinates. So new coordinates, that is P dash, Q dash, R dash, S dash, can be find out by multiplying the old coordinates, that was 2 0 0 1, 2 2 0 1, then 2 2 1, 2 2 1 and 0 2 1, and the shearing matrix was 1 4 0 1 4 0 2 1 0 0 0 1. So the last matrix which will be the outcome of the product of this matrix will be, means the new coordinates of the square, it will be equals to 0 0 1 2 8 1 6 10 1 and 4 2 1. So from here we can find out the new coordinates of the square will be equals to what? 0 0, it will remain same, it will become 2 8, this will become 6 10, and this will become 4 2. So like this we can find out the transformation matrix or the new coordinates after sharing. Okay. Now we will try our next numerical. So let's find out a triangle ABC. We have a triangle ABC whose coordinates are 1, 1, 1, 7 and 5, 4. So these are the coordinates of this triangle ABC. It is scaled by, this triangle is, it is scaled by 3 units, scaled by 3 units in x direction, in x direction, and rotated by 30° in anti-clockwise direction, anti-clockwise direction. So we know, since the point of this triangle, take any point, it might be A, it might be C, it might be V, we have to coincide this point with the origin. Take any point A, B or C, we have to coincide with the origin because we know the rotation matrix for the point which is rotated about the origin. Okay, we know, which we have, the rotation matrix we derived is for the point which is rotated about the origin. So what we have to do, we have to coincide this triangle. Let's say this is the triangle and this is 1, 1, that is A point, and B is 1, 7 and C is 5, 4. This is B and this is C. So on XY we can say this is the triangle. So for rotation, first we have to coincide, because we know the matrix for the rotation about the origin only. So we have to coincide this point with the origin. So for coinciding this point to the origin, we have to translate this point, that is A, to the origin, or the whole triangle. We have to translate the whole triangle to the origin. So this point has to be translated to the origin. How much distance it has to be moved? So here it is 1, 1. So if I translate one distance to this origin, then we can consider point to the origin. So the translation matrix will be, for translation, just to align this point A with the origin, the matrix will be 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, Tx and Ty, translation in x and y direction. So translation in x and y direction will be -1, -1. So in both x and y, that is -1, -1, 1. So this will be the translation matrix. And now after this translation matrix, the new position of this triangle will be this. That is A, B and C. Now we can, since A point is aligned with the origin, now we can easily rotate this point. So if I have to rotate this point, the point is to be rotated by 30° in anti-clockwise direction. So we can do apply the rotational matrix here. But before applying the rotation matrix, something else is also given here. It is scaled by 3 units in x direction. So scaling is to be done. So for doing the scaling matrix in x direction will be equals to what? It will be 3, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. This will be the scaling matrix for 3 units in x direction. So first the matrix was translation matrix, then scaling matrix. Now we will rotate this triangle by 30° in anti-clockwise direction. So in anti-clockwise direction, the rotational matrix will be, if I have to rotate in 30°, it will be equals to cos 30°, sin 30°, 0, minus sin 30°, cos 30 degree 0 0 0 1. This will be the rotational matrix. And one thing is to be kept in mind, the things we do just to apply the matrix, we have to again reverse back and do the things, apply the matrix, so that original conditions can be achieved again. We have translated, for just to apply this rotational matrix, we have translated that triangle by 1 1. So we will again translate back this triangle after rotating, after applying this rotational matrix. We have to again translate the triangle again back to its original position. So for taking back to its original position for a triangle, translation matrix will be equals to what? Translation will be in positive direction. Earlier we have done in negative direction, that is minus 1 minus 1. Now for taking back to its original position, we have to do the positive translation. Then the matrix will be 1 0 0 0 1 0, that is 1 1 and 1. This will be the translation matrix, so that the triangle can get back to its original position. So after multiplying all these matrices in the same sequence, I can get the transformation matrix. So the transformation matrix will be equals to, if I say the transformation matrix will be equals to multiplying all these matrices in the same sequence, 1 0 0 0 1 0 minus 1 1, then scaling matrix, that is 3 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, then rotation matrix, that is cos 30 sin 30 0 minus sin 30 cos 30 0 0 0 1, and again the last translation, that is 1 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 1. So this will result me the transformation matrix whose value will be equals to 2.61. You can find out and see and match if these values are correct or not. 1.50 minus 0.5, 0.870 minus 1.11 minus 1.37 and 1. So this is how we can calculate the transformation matrix for simultaneous transformations. Like in this translation is being done, scaling is being done, rotation is being done. So this is how we will approach and solve this these type of problems in a sequential way. Okay. So question is to determine a 3 by 3 matrix, homogeneous transformation matrix, to change a square into rectangular. A square is to be changed into a rectangle. So a square is to be changed into a rectangle with scaling a factor, that is Sx is equals to 1 and Sy is equals to 2. So with this scaling factor, a square is to be changed into a rectangle, and after getting a rectangle, we have to rotate it. This rectangle is then rotated by 90 degree in anti-clockwise direction. Maintaining the center of the square with the center of the rectangle. So try, first you try, then we will solve this question. Take 2 minutes and try. We don't know the coordinates of the square. We just have to find out the transformation matrix. So don't worry about the coordinates of the square rectangle. We just have to find out the transformation matrix. So just find out the intermediate matrix for the transformation, and after multiplying those intermediate matrices we can find out the final transformation matrix. So we know first we have to translate to the origin, then only we can rotate. This is the basic idea. We have to translate to the origin, then we can rotate. And let me say, to translate to the origin, there are some points which is to be translated, that is xc and yc. So first you have to translate and align a point of the square to the origin, and that point is might be that point starting point is xc and yc. So the translation matrix will be equals to 1 0 0 0 1 0 and minus xc minus yc and 1. So this will be the initial starting, that is we have to do the translation, we have to align a point of a square to the origin so that we can rotate, because we know the rotation matrix about the when we rotate a line or point about the origin only, for the origin only. Okay, so we have aligned the point of a square to the origin by translating in negative direction. Then we have to scale. So scaling matrix is being given here. So scaling in multiply with the scale matrix. So scaling in x direction is 1 0 0, scaling in y direction is 2 0 0 1. So this will be the scaling matrix for x and y. Now we have to rotate. So rotate about 90 degree in clockwise direction. So rotation matrix will be what? Cos 90 sin 90 0 minus sin 90 cos 90 0 0 0 1. And the last is, we have done the rotation. Last we have to again take back that square rectangle to its original position. For that, the translation which we have done for the rotation, we will reverse that translation so that we can take back that figure to its original position. So the again reverse translation matrix will be equals to 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 xc yc 1. So multiplying all these matrices will result a homogeneous transformation matrix, with which if we multiply the coordinates of the old square, then we can find out the new coordinates of the rectangle which is being transformed. Okay. Now I am writing some numericals, two numericals which you have to practice at home. So the question 1 is, this you have to practice at home, and if you find any problem, then you can always contact me. Okay. So find reflection of a point, find reflection of a point 5, 5 about a line y equals to 3x plus 8. Second question is question number 2. Perform 60-degree rotation of a triangle with vertices A 0, 0, B 1, 1 and C 5, 2. First, about origin, and second, about some point P whose coordinates are -1, -1. So practice these questions at home, and if you find some problem you can always contact me. So here we hope transformation which we can do with line and points is easily you all understand it, how to approach a numerical, how to solve, how to do the transformation, how we can find out a transformation matrix. So I hope sabhi ko ye aa gaya hai. Okay, now moving on to the next part of this computer graphics, then we will discuss in the next part about curves, that is synthetic curves. So curves which are used to generate a profile, that is aerodynamic profile of an automobile or an aeroplane or aerofoil of an aeroplane. So hull, convex hull of this ships. So these can be easily designed. These profiles are generated with the help of synthetic curves. So synthetic curves. Generally, there are three types of synthetic curves. First one is Hermite, second is Bezier, and the last one is B-spline. And we will study all these curves, that is about Hermite curve, Bezier curve, B-spline curve, and we will see this B-spline curve is has many advantages over Hermite and Bezier. And after learning these curves, we will also discuss about the surfaces which are made using these curves. Okay, so in our next lecture we will learn about them, about the synthetic curves, how we can draw, how we can generate, what are the properties of synthetic curves, and we will also do some numericals for generating a synthetic curve for a Bezier and a Hermite. Obviously not for B-spline, but B-spline has many advantages, but the solution or generating the points for the B-spline curves is very a lengthy process, and it requires lots of calculation. So it is generally with the use of the latest softwares like MATLAB, we can generate the points of B-spline curve, and the number of points we generate, the smoother the curve will become. Okay, so we will learn in the next lecture about these curves. So thank you, that's all for today, and good luck.